Hi, in this video we'll show you how to create a new project and also manage it and give new permissions. So if you navigate to the left tab, you'll see the name projects, and then you just hit the create project button. Should give it a very characteristic name. So for instance, example 1, and also provide a short description to make it easier to find. And if you wish, you can also give it some tags so that your team can also find it more easily. Right. And here you just choose a default application. So how you should open it, which will open by default. So you can choose out of those three. So for instance, for the purposes of this example, we're just the Julia IDE. And it's very important to choose the workflow properly. So for instance, you might want to have exclusive editing permissions, but also if you wish to work jointly on this project, you might wish to use the collaborative editing feature. And if you chose the collaborative editing workflow, you should now manage your groups and users and give them permissions. It's very important to stress that you can also do it later, so you don't have to worry about this if you forgot something. So let's just choose one person, and for instance, you can make this person a viewer. So this is the function with the most restricted set of privileges. So they might just view the project, but they don't have any editing rights. You can also make them the editor, which is less restrictive in the sense that they can edit the project, obviously, but they can't add new, for instance, new files or directories. And if you make this person an owner, they'll have all those rights. So let's just use the viewer function for now and go to the directories. So in this step, you should add resources. And for instance, that would be your directory, which is kind of akin to the GitHub directory. And you can add another one. So for instance, data analysis. And here you can add your data. Right, and you can also, of course, change it later on. So this is just for the beginning. So now you've created your first project, and it will show up in the project dashboard. So if you navigate to it, you will see that you can do lots of things with it. So first of all, you can see what's in it. So right now it's empty, but we'll populate it in a bit. And you can also edit metadata, archive the project, or mark it as complete once you're ready. And like we said before, you can also manage directories and add collaborators, change their roles and permissions, so downgrade restrictions and so on, clone the project, also reset it or publish it, which we'll do now. And if you wish, you can import files here or via the IDE, which is up to you basically. So now, if you look at Connect, you can launch it in 3 applications, 3 different ones. If you just hit this button, it will launch in the default application that you chose at the beginning. So let's just go to the Julia IDE. Okay, and you should be familiar with this view because it's like the standard VS Code. And now we can, for instance, create a new subdirectory. Okay, it will show up here, and if you wish to work on a file directly, you can just create it in this subdirectory. And you can edit it directly if you wish. And now you will see a prompt here from source control. So if you're ready to commit those changes, you can do this directly by hitting commit. And you can also give it a message to make it easier for version control and stuff like this. Now if you go back to your project and reset it, you will see that we have the subdirectory we created and also the new file, and we can inspect it directly here. So it's very much like GitHub, so we should be used to it. And we can also publish those changes again. If you go back to navigate to active projects again, you will see that you can manage your project here. So for instance, you can archive it or mark as complete. You can also later download or share it, as well as rename it, which is a very handy function. So if we archive the project, you will see that it disappeared from this dashboard, but it will show up in the archived tab. And if you wish to make any changes to it in the future, you can easily restore the project. So it will be marked as active again. And once you're ready, you can just mark it as complete, and it should show up in the finished section. So as you see, it's all very intuitive and easy to manage because it's mostly like GitHub.